A pleasant day to everyone. For our lesson, we have the elements and the principles of Philippine contemporary arts. Before I go further with our discussion, our objectives are first, you can recognize the different elements and even the principle of contemporary arts. Second, you can also have some reflection on the art forms found in the different regions here in the Philippines. And for your group task, you're going to create a marketing aid that will promote arts from the region. So yung gagawin niyo pong marketing aid, okay, ay iikot po dito sa ating elements. Okay, elements of art. And now we have here the 7 elements of art came from the book of Angelita Perez. First, we have here the different example of line. So the first element is what we call line or linya. Okay, so kung mapapansin niyo no, dito sa ating example, yung mga different line na ito o yung magkakaibang linya na ito ay magkakaiba rin ng direction. No? Kung makikita ninyo, mapapansin, may mga linya dyan na maiksi lang, may mga mahaba, may vertical, may horizontal. And also, if you can also observe, ayan, may mga makikita rin kayo mga diagonal and some of the character which could be a jag curve or even yung mga series of dots or broken lines. Now, yung line na ito ay nagpapakita or it can also convey emotion. Okay, so kung mapapansin, 'di ba, kapag masyadong dark, ayan, may different feelings tayo diyan, may different emotion, no, na pwedeng mabuo no sa ating kaisipan, no? It's either excitement, anger, calmness, tension, happiness, and other feelings. Okay, so because of this, some are said that having a line, no, in our art ay mas nagiging expressive. Another element is what we have the value. So kung mapapansin niyo, pag sinabing value, no, based on our example, ito yung shading, no? Yung degree of lightness and darkness of a certain color. So the value makes object appear more real because it imitates natural light. So this adds drama and impact to the compositions. And then next, ayan, we have different colors na kung saan talagang nagbibigay buhay no doon sa mga ginagawa nating art. So this is most striking art elements that catches no the eye of everyone. It can add interest and reality to our artwork. So meron tayong tinatawag no ng tatlong primary color. So ano-ano ito? We have the red, we also have the yellow, and also we have the blue. They make all other colors on the color wheel. Colors can convey emotion, like what I've said kanina. It can also convey feelings. It is important that artists understand the effects of each color when they are trying to get the viewers of their art to feel a particular way. For our third elements, we have the space. Ayan, kung makikita din ninyo or mapapansin din ninyo, having space, ayan, we imagine a certain thing. Like for example, itong highway na to, we think na ito ay mahabang kalsada. Okay, or let's say, yung mga building na to, we think na maraming establishment. Okay, because of some spaces. Alright, so it emphasizes no, the emptiness of art in an artwork, which can be either positive or negative. So once we talk about positive space, it is an actual object within the artwork. Okay? And the negative space is the area in and around the object. Okay? So ito yung tinatawag natin na positive and also the negative. Okay? Ito yung positive, ito yung negative. Ayan, based on the background. And it also contributes to the artwork or the work of art having also some spaces. Ayan, nagkakaroon tayo ng different perspective. No? Once we saw a certain drawing or a certain art na kung saan ginagamitan ng different spaces. And also, perspective is when an artist uses a vanishing point in the horizon and when creates a sense of deep space by showing objects getting progressively smaller as they get closer to the vanishing point. Ayan, kung mapapansin niyo, itong example natin, di ba? Um, Feeling natin malayo or lumalayo kasi nga because of some spaces. Ayan, nagkakaroon tayo ng imagination. And then another thing, we have the shape and form. It can be geometric, mostly man-made thing, or organic, found in nature. Okay, organic is also called preform, natural, or biomorphic. In terms of shapes, we have the so-called plot or the 2D. No? So dito, in our shape also, meron tayong geometric and also organic shapes. So, kung sinabing geometric, like what I said kanina, ito ay gawa ng tao. Unlike when we talk about organic shape naman, these are found again in nature. Alright? Anong size, or let's say, ano yung shape, ano yung form, let's say, ng dahon, ng halaman, mga ganyan. So, that is what we call organic shapes. And next naman is what we have the so-called forms. In our forms, meron na tayong tinatawag na 3D. Ayan. So, if in our shapes, we only have the height and width, sa ating forms naman, ayan, nadagdagan ito ng gaano ba ka detalyado. Gaano ka detalyado, gaano ka kalalim, no? Yung mga forms or let's say yung mga shapes, no, na ginagamit in terms of geometric and also in terms of our organic forms. Ayan. Next po is what we have, the texture. Okay, when we talk about texture, ano po yung napi-feel natin, no, once we touch a certain art? Okay, it's either ito ay matigas, it's either ito ay malambot, it's either ito ay let's say toughness or softness or smoothness. Ayan. The way we feel, yun yung texture nito. Alright? Now, in texture also, yan, we have different example, no? Let's say, example ng sandpaper. Nakakita naman na kayo ng sandpaper, no? Ito yung liha. Yan. Medyo masakit sa kamay. Yun yung tinatawag na texture, no? Yung liha niya, rough yun, no? Dahil nga rough ito, yan, ito yung pang kiss-kiss, no? Like for example, sa pintura, ganyan. Yan yung kanyang texture, no? Masyado siyang rough. And also, ano pa bang meron tayo dyan? Yan, yung mga ginagamit, no? Ginagamit na, let's say leather, ayan. Ang leather ay meron tayong matigas din na leather, lalo na pag mga genuine na leather. Meron din tayong mga soft kapag po man-made ang leather. Okay? So again, when we talk about texture, ito yung mismong object, no? Ano yung texture nito? Alright? Next is what we have, the principles of arts and design. So in here, this is how the artists use the elements of art, yung mga kayo nang pinagbabangkit natin sa 7 na yon. Okay, so pag pinagsama-sama niya ito, okay, makakabuo po tayo ng tinatawag na 8 principles of art. So came from the element, alright, we can come up with the different principles of art. Kaya mabubuo natin yung principles of art na tinatawag. First is we have the so-called balance. So in our balance, we have 3 ways. First is we have the asymmetric. Ayan, kung mapapansin natin yung asymmetric, it is a form of symmetric in which the two sides of artwork are different but are visually balanced. Kung mapapansin ninyo, no, itong artwork na ito, ayan, they have different let's say different object, no, different color, or let's say different views. Ayan, kahit po magkaiba yung views na ito, example, ito may bundok, diba? Tapos dito may mga puno. Pero, no, when it comes to visual, ito ay balance eh. Ayan, walang emphasizing of a certain object, walang emphasizing of a certain line. Alright, so this one is what we call asymmetric balance. And the other one naman is what we call symmetrical balance. So, ano ito? Kabaliktaran naman ito ng asymmetric balance. So, in terms of symmetrical balance, a picture can be folded in such way that one half of it is an exact reflection. So, nagkakaroon tayo na tinatawag na mirror effect. Alright? And also, in here naman, in terms of our radical balance, this is a type of balance in which the part of the pictures are regularly arranged and radiant from a central point. So, mapapansin po natin, ayan, um, we have here composition of line, different colors that are complemented, and also um, we think no na lahat ng mga figura nito o yung mga object na yan ay magkakaparehas. Okay, magkakaparehas sila. Kahit saang mga puntang direction, okay, they are balanced in terms of radiate. Okay, from a central point. Next naman is what we call the emphasis. Okay? The principle of art occurs anytime an element within an artwork is given dominance by the artist. In other words, the artist makes part of the work stand out in order to draw the viewer's eye there first. As you can see in our example, okay, so obvious naman na yung nasa gitna yung ine-emphasize no, ng object na ito. Bakit? Kasi po, siya lang yung nag-stand out, no? Siya lang yung nag-iiba ang kulay or iba ang kulay, no? Among the six na mga objects na ito. Next naman is what we call the visual movement. Ayan. So, kadalasan, ito ay makikita natin kapag po ang art ay mga alon-alon, padagat-dagat, mga ganyan. O kaya naman yung mga, let's say, hinahangin, ganyan, or pagpatak ng ulan, mga ganyan, or let's say, yung pagtanggal ng mga mga dahon sa puno. So, we think, no, yung mga drawing na ito is gumagalaw. Okay? Or na meron siya tinatawag na movement. Alright? Now, let's talk about pattern. In our pattern, as you can see, the symbols or even the object ay nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na repetition. Ibig sabihin, nagiging paulit-ulit. No? By this one, no, if we saw it, it looked like active. Okay? So, bakit po? Because the repetition of elements of design creates unity within the work of art. Another thing is what we call the proportion. Ayan. So, for sure kayo, or some of you, no, bago nagdo-drawing, may mga palinya-linya pa. Kasi we think na dapat ito ay maging pantay. No? Sa pag-rate din po ng, let's say, nag-drawing tayo or nag-sketch tayo, ganyan, may mga certain proportion din tayo na kailangan natin gawin. Okay? Why? Because having a proportion is also a feeling of unity created with all parts. Like for example, yung sizes, gaano ba dapat kakapal yung kulay, or yung number of, let's say, yung mga pattern natin, gaano ba dapat ito kadami, ganyan. Or let's say, when it comes to the movement, diba? Ilan ba yung dapat makikita natin dyan na paalon-alon, mga ganyan. So, when drawing a human figure, ito talaga, kinakailangan po na magkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na proportion. Okay? So, the size of head compared to the rest of the body. Siyempre, hindi naman pwede na laki ng ulo ulit na katawan. Or let's say, magkabaliktad. So, everything must be proportion. Alright? Hindi lang po ito para lang maganda tingnan. Okay? It also representation na kung saan yung art natin as magkakaroon ng buhay. Okay? Or may emphasize kung ano ba yung kino-convey, no? Or kung ano ba yung message na pinaparating natin doon sa mga magiging viewers nito. And then, next naman po is we have the so-called rhythm. Ayan. So, in rhythm naman, it's created when one or more elements of design are used repeatedly to create a feeling of organized movement. Rhythm creates a mood like music or dancing to keep rhythm exciting, and active variety is essential. Okay, so sa ating rhythm, ulitin natin, lahat po, no, lahat ng elements ng ating art, okay, ay ginamit na natin. So, linya, kulay, okay, let's say balance, emphasizing a certain things, ayan. So, everything that you can see in terms of elements and also principle, we can show in rhythm. And also, we have here the so-called variety. So once we talk about variety based on the definition there, variety is achieved when the art elements are combined in various ways to increase visual interest. For instance, an assortment of shapes that are of a variety of sizes attract more attention than an assortment of shapes all the same size. So kung mapapansin din po no, dito sa ating example, yan. They use several elements of design. So, ano-ano yan? Yung mga kulay, syempre, yung mga linya, even yung mga shapes, even yung shadings natin dyan, or emphasizing. Ayan. Bakit po? Syempre, para po ulit, ma-catch no, yung attention ng ating viewers. And also, to guide the viewers' eye, thought, and around the work of art. Next is what we have, unity. Unity creates a sense of order. Unity also gives element the appearance of completeness. It's when all the design elements work harmoniously together, giving the viewer a satisfying sense of belonging and relationship. You know, unity has been achieved when all aspects of designs complement one another rather than compete for attention. Alright? So having this kind of unity, okay, it's all about harmony, no, between all parts of the work of art. Creates also a sense of complete. Thank you so much for listening. Again, be ready with your group performance or group task. Goodbye.